afraid of no goats.
I ain't afraid of no totes.
We haven't talked about ghosts in a while.
We haven't.
Yes.
And Slava was just telling us about what he thinks of ghosts and
how eventually he wants us to let him go, but we kept him here for weeks.
Exactly.
But before we get started on that,
downstairs by basement.
Yeah.
Before we write your discharge papers, one more episode with us.
Before we get started on it, though, it's just remember you can find us on ageofradio.org.
Yes.
.org. And you can go to Twitter.
You can go to hell.
You can go to hell. You can find us there. But yeah, all of the social medias.
Yes.
I am an
and be our Digi pen pal.
Right.
At learningtocurse@gmail.com.
Right.
Get all your learning to curse needs one way or another through us through the social medias. Back for another episode. Let's spitball a little.
All right. Life. Back to reality.
We're gonna have to start paying them royalties.
Anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna get to you guys. But
royalties.
I believe in ghosts. I have not had a real experience, but all the ones that I've listened to, the stories that share the similarities in certain ways, coming from different perspectives, I feel that there is some kind of energy out there. There is an energy we output, and the reasoning that we have above other animals that we can actually control our reality is the reasoning that makes me believe that maybe we are a little special to have some kind of a fucking soul.
Right.
So in a way, do we think our soul goes outside of our body and hangs around for a while? I think that it could. Maybe.
So is it more that you are open to the possibility of it being a reality, more so that you believe that they actually exist?
It's the energy of it.
Okay.
I believe into the energy of it. I'm just wondering how far is that energy willing to go? Because it never went far enough to fucking blaze me away. Other than, of course, you call it, what do you call that? Sleep problem where you sleep paralysis. I've had a couple times sleep paralysis. That's a fucking real
Me too.
feeling.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean we were abducted by aliens.
Exactly.
No.
Or visited by a succubus in the night.
Exactly. So like the ghost thing is the same
She can
kind
suck
of thing.
my bits.
The closest thing to like sleep paralysis was that ghost feeling.
Yes.
And that's the only thing I can relate to the ghost feeling.
Do you think that's a natural reaction to jump to something that's unknown or paranormal when you feel? Because it freaks you out when you can't move.
That's what I was just wanting to ask you. Have you seen a person that seen a ghost? How they look like? They look like
I've seen
shit.
Yeah, I've
like
seen shit
pale.
that's happened.
Oh yeah.
I've had experiences. I mean, I go into depth about my weird experiences on previous episodes. What was it?
Ghosty Toast.
Ghosty Toast and the other side of the toast.
Ghost Pusher ADD.
Sprinkling it throughout.
Now, the unique thing we have here is
Big
Chuck
Bubba
has seen things. Oh yeah, Big Bubba Cup.
Yeah.
You'll never let me live that one down. He'll forever interrupt me because of that episode. But in our situations, I've had things move. Things happen that I can't explain, but I haven't seen any specter or ghoul or ghost attached to it. So I can rationalize. I can potentially rationalize a lot of the experiences I've had.
Yeah.
And the ones that I can't, I mean, I just the jury's out. I don't know what happened. I don't know how this object went flying.
Yeah.
Right. But in Chuck's situation, he's seen.
I've seen entities. I've seen physical manifestations of something.
Yeah.
Before I used to call it a ghost because raising up that was the
go-to
just
the term.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah.
But and I guess thinking about it, I could still use that label and call it a ghost and say I've seen a ghost, but based off of like a dictionary definition of the word ghost, I can't confirm
that it's a disembodied
that it is what that definition of a ghost is. So I try to do my best to say that I've seen things, I've had experiences, but I can't explain them. Yeah. Now, when having a conversation with somebody that, it does make it easier to use that language, that shared language, and say, yeah, I've seen a ghost, but I'm going to explain it. That makes it easier to get into that conversation rather than saying, yeah, I've had this weird experience, and then you have to kind of deconstruct what it was to get to them to understand that you actually mean what they think of as ghost.
And that's the fucking crazy part about that energy is that the energy that if you ever try to recreate an environment that's has high amounts of energy.
Yes.
Let's say whether it be negative, whether it be positive. The high.
Now, are we talking like a residual energy from
like
something
you
from an
said
event
floating.
that happened?
You said floating.
Yes.
Shit, float.
Yeah,
things like that. I mean,
yeah.
moving. Sorry, moving, not
Yes.
floating, moving.
Or being thrown, or you turn around
That-
and you know that there's no way you could have bumped it.
There
onto the
is
floor.
a way. There's a certain amount of like energy that a person can put out before they can die in a very bad way. Where like that's the ghost we hear about. Those are the ones that
Yeah.
exemplified a little much. Oh, sorry, but
No, you're
it's the fucking it's that energy that was so well exhumed before your death that still resides within the area just because of the.
It's like a residual haunting.
Could that be
What haunts people?
the when we were talking before about the disinformation? Can it go towards that type of paranormal shit where there may be somebody out there who has researched and does know and is using disinformation in certain ways or allowing things to be stated a certain way because he knows the fact or she knows the fact.
Because we brought up the theory that what if all spirit activity could be, or most spirit activity could be, interdimensional beings, right?
Yep.
But since they're in a different dimension, right?
Exactly.
They could see all of time.
Perfect. Yep.
So they can, by their way of manipulating you is saying, okay, well, this person's aunt had died. So I'm going to act like I am their aunt because I know everything about this person's aunt through this person's memories because I can.
So like the ghost version of those aliens from Arrival.
Yes. So they can see all the time, so they can manipulate things and make you think that they are disembodied entities.
Yeah.
Okay, now going with that.
Yeah.
It's unresolved energy.
Yes.
It's unresolved energy that just keeps building and tensing because it's a state of denial.
Going with that, what if somebody has already discovered that that's all it is, but like you're saying, disinfo, they're letting people still believe that
Because it would shatter everyone's reality to a degree where they
it would confirm there's no afterlife.
Yeah.
If that, I mean, we're just there.
Yeah, if it's a
Yeah. Again, yeah, of course. Like I don't.
That could be
fucking know.
like we were talking about in the previous episode. That could be a form of a person thinking that disinfo would be better for mankind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
But again,
Because
I
like
think
you said, it would shatter
for me,
that.
I personally,
I'd rather
think-
know. I just want to know the
right,
truth.
Exactly. But I think that it's a positive thing to shatter people's understanding
Exactly.
of reality. So, and if it
Is it
were
like the
to
Band-Aid
come,
effect? Just fucking do it and
yeah,
get it over
if it
with?
were to come across that we understand this afterlife thing that you've been describing, and can quantify it, and then it proves that there is no afterlife like you believe there to be, or there is no heaven or hell or whatever, and it shatters everyone's reality about their religion. I honestly, that would be
gotta go
spectacular.
Here's another spectacular one, and this is the one that just kind of hit me right there at the moment as you were explaining that.
Hit me with your pet shark.
There's your there's your shark, dude. What if the ghost is a practice that shows how much we mastered energy in our existence?
Shark Tank and I'll buy it.
That beyond our beliefs, we're capable of, instead of just not only replaying what we just saw, which we already mastered in technology, but we mastered it with our spiritual self, that where we become so influential in our environment that environment
you create a
willing to
residual
recreate.
playback.
Exactly. So did we master it to that level that at the very end we actually represent the part that we are one energy altogether?
Yeah.
And I think it's a healthy outlook, but it was the thought about it. It kind of started like putting together what you were explaining. It was truly, to be honest, it's just those concepts. It's how we. How much are we putting in this?
Residual hauntings that like
What are we putting in
don't
this? There you go.
Yeah.
Residual hauntings that don't affect people in an interactive way, other than it's just like, okay, you hear a gun go off in an area where a traumatic thing happened with a gun, and it just happens, and it can't be altered. It's just a playback loop.
Yep,
That
exactly.
type of residual, feedback loop, or whatever you want to call it. What if that's just not so much because it was so traumatic at that time, or maybe also because it was traumatic at that time, but it just proves that time isn't linear. That it's
Overloops itself.
yeah. And what if some things that are residual, like
It's
residual
like every
hauntings,
September 11th, you see ghost planes in the sky.
It's like it's
but what if some residual hauntings
That's a very fucking good one.
aren't just from the past, like things that happened already from our perspective, but happen in the future? And then that's perceived as a spirit that's actively haunting the house now.
That's the funny part about it though, is like from our perspective, we're actually quite a bit educated, but there was a fine line between somebody being dumb and calling it off the charts versus somebody that's literally putting it together. But
and you have people that are very gifted in one area and complete retards in others.
Hey, yeah, dude, that's true. That actually is. Right? You know? Like you could be like
you have your Sheldon Coopers.
Well, I think we talked about this before, but what's his name? He was a presidential candidate.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
He was a lawyer, right?
No, the doctor.
The
brain surgeon.
Yeah, the brain surgeon. Yes.
Ben Carlson.
Yes.
So Ben Carlson is a brilliant neurosurgeon, right? Fucking idiot on other things.
Yeah.
Like a complete moron on other things.
Yeah.
Just because he's a brilliant neurosurgeon doesn't mean that he's well versed enough to be smart in other areas. He's got specific specialized training, and he's good at it.
If you ever watched the show,
was he trained wrong?
Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory is another good example. He's a theoretical physicist. He's a genius.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't get emotional intelligence at all.
Yeah, because he has
that's another type of
Asperger's.
that is a theory that's held by the fans.
The spiritual part is the emotional part of it is the spiritual part. That's where the energy drives into the world, because we blindly do it, and it's an energy we feel burning us up. Like when you fucking emotional, dude, whether you're happy or you're like fucking saddest at your very core, you are gonna be drained. Because like even after vacation, we ask for that motherfucking vacation, dude, because like we just gotta deal with it. Like, okay, I was just happy for this whole time, now I gotta like get back into like fucking rhythm, you know?
You ever felt like you needed a vacation from your vacation?
Yes.
That's exactly
because
what
you go, and it's like, when do you relax?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't want to call it a vacation. I just want to call it a break.
But that's the energy.
Get a break from work and relax.
It's an emotional energy that you received, but you're also not deprived, but like drained because you were so fucking happy and excited, enjoying that.
Oh yeah. Any emotion can be draining. Any emotion can be draining because it's
I would enjoy a vacation of margaritas in a hammock.
Yes.
That would
not
be
necessarily vacating.
No.
Yeah. You gotta figure.
Vacating.
What if
vacating stress?
Yes, there you go.
What if the guy with a fucking showed up with a little ukulele, started playing over the head, the most annoying song you could fucking hear?
Tiny. What's his name? Tiny Tim.
Yeah,
I'd beat him.
I just did a Tiny Tim version of the Hawaiian guy that does somewhat.
It takes emotional strength, and but the emotional strength has an energy to it. It's like you're putting energy. You feel drained at the
end.
And
no matter what emotion it is, even happiness, like you said, it's emotion, energy.
That could be why.
Yep, exactly.
Like I said before, I came right home from work last night, which I don't normally do. I came right home from work and went right to sleep.
Yeah.
And you and I have discussed my emotional stresses.
Yeah.
As of late,
that probably plays a lot into.
But yeah, I mean, yesterday we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Was emotionally draining.
Inside baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I mean, this pertains to what you were talking about. Like, it is draining because like I felt it. Like I wasn't physically hurt or physically tired, but man, like emotionally, it did manifest physically towards the end of the day.
Yeah,
I was just
because it's energy.
So how did that energy originally that you truly had an experience with, how did that manifest? Did it take something out of it? Did you feel that emotional?
Yeah, I felt it draining. Yeah, I mean, in me, because there was output. I think I think if you were to keep it in, it's not necessarily helpful either, and you can expend that energy in mental capacity by having things run over and over and over and over and over in your head.
Yeah.
But I think actually kind of, I would say, ranting in a diatribe can cause it can go one or two ways, because that expended energy could also be reflected in a way that lifts you up and brings you more energy.
Yeah.
There are times after it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm tired as fuck and I've sat there through bands I didn't want to hear, and I get up on stage and I play, and for that half hour or so.
Could that be endorphins?
Yeah, of course, it's endorphins.
But there's something beyond that. I know what you're getting at, because emotion is emotion. No matter what emotion, you're expending. Exactly. Sweet emotion.
Yeah.
It has a talk box in it.
Yes, it does.
I love it. So no matter what, regardless, you're expending energy.
Right.
But there is that. I mean, and it remains in the supernatural realm for now.
Mm-hmm.
You ever feel that, like you're saying, it's not just the endorphins.
No.
It's not just the high of like when you get a good workout, or you do something, you accomplish
Right.
something, you play, and you feel good, your body feels
The
good.
release of
But
serotonin.
there's something beyond the chemicals, and it may very well be a chemical that we just don't get, but there's that feeling. And I'm sure every one of our listeners has felt this, where even at you get your second win, they call it. You're even if you haven't accomplished anything yet, you're dead tired.
Yeah.
But then there's something that well of energy opens up.
Yeah.
And where does it come from? You didn't eat anything. You didn't do anything.
You're eating yourself.
It's a revelation.
Are you burning up? Is your body eating itself, consuming?
That's why after a situation like that, your body feels 10 times more exhausted than it would
once
normally.
you finally come down from it?
Yeah.
It's a revelation. It's a process of revelation, like the victory part of it.
Yeah.
So technically,
or it's just pushing through.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, there was to give an example of that, we were out hiking in a mountain, and this is near Phoenix, Arizona, south of the White Tanks. We were hiking around, in the desert, and we took the long way
with
around
a horse with no name
that we'd never been on before, and what we thought was going to take an hour and a half took almost 4 hours, and halfway through, my middle daughter had to pee. So I had to push on ahead. Like I was beat at that point.
Yeah.
Like halfway through it, I was exhausted.
You were considering living there.
It was hard. Yeah, I was. I really was. I sat down and I'm like, this is where I live now. Address is this rock. Send my mail here. But she needed something. And something that I couldn't just let her go off ahead. Because, I mean, she was young and more energetic than I am.
But you need to be there with her.
But I couldn't just let her push along ahead of me.
Yeah.
I had to go. And we, I mean, even though mentally I felt like I couldn't continue, I continued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was, and again, it goes back towards that, that fail or, use that failure to progress.
Yeah.
I knew that if I failed, we wouldn't progress.
Yep.
So failure wasn't an option.
Yes.
Even if it were at my own detriment. By the time I got there, my feet were blistered and I was dehydrated.
So you overcame your own failure.
Yeah. I overcame the possibility of
The
failure.
potential failure. Yeah.
Potential, but that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
And I know, and it wasn't like that grueling and it wasn't that hard, but as somebody who's not a regular hiker, and I didn't bring enough water, and it was, it was a tougher trail. I could have just as easily said no.
Yeah.
No. I could have just as easily said, we've gotten this far. I don't know how far the rest of it is. Let's just turn around. I know where we came from. We can
It's
just
like
turn
the
around and
granny
go back.
getting the adrenaline rush to lift a car off a person who's been crushed.
Yep. That more so than what I'm describing, because I didn't have like this huge rush. I just
If you
trudged
guys,
on through.
Exactly.
you guys are gonna laugh. I wrote a story. It's still on
He got it
Facebook. Still on Facebook. I still have it on Facebook, and I wrote it up like when I had my fucking mental breakdown. It was actually probably because
We're not laughing at your mental breakdown. We're laughing at his laughing.
Yeah, we are. We're dicks.
It was the one I had this summer. I had literally had I had to literally explain that to my supervisor. Be like, dude, I am right now, nothing is combining, nothing is being put together in my world. My world is completely apart. I do not know what the fuck I am right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if it was like me getting that 30s thing click into the back of my head. It's like, you have done absolutely nothing. You went through some college. Have fucking fun. So that like that part. But I wrote a story. The story was
Measurements are always being thrown in people's faces.
and that's what I did. I tried
Like
to build
my
my own
dick?
measurement. I was kind of wondering, but I was trying to build my own measurement.
Yes.
I bounced back on the story, and I
Measurements of
actually
success.
received one expert individual, but he gave me a logical reason.
Yeah.
The story was this. So pretend you're traveling from one city to the other, and you got a map. You make it through, it's easy. When you start making it a little more farther, it's getting a little harder. You're about halfway through, you gotta overstep particular stone, take a break for a moment, kick it, and then you decide to go. So like about quarter of the way, or technically halfway between the half point, you stop, and then you realize you fucking left your map somewhere at the half point.
Oh no.
You have enough supplies. This whole entire time, you found you had enough supplies to make it back over there and then back again. You don't know the area. We're here to camp. And that was the funny part. When you said the camp part, that was a trip that is like, were you A, to camp out? Were you B, to trust yourself and like fucking go to that last fucking distance because you have an idea where it might be?
Yeah.
She's going the distance. She's going for speed.
Yeah.
I had to respond. That's a good song. Good
Time and
reference.
need.
Cake.
Yeah. It says a shitty video apparently.
You can
But
have your
anyway.
cake and eat it too.
Yes.
What was it? Let me motorboat your butt cheeks.
And a long skirt and long jacket and short skirt.
A short skirt and a long jacket.
It's
Yeah, that's the Chuck theme song
Yes.
without the
I
lyrics.
love that.
That's not your theme song.
Yep.
I love those songs. Dude, that band is awesome, man. Like,
Yeah.
that was my high school years. Dude, I fucking loved it. Anyway, but
I want to love you madly or deeply or something like that.
Yeah.
want to love you now.
Yeah, yes. I love that band.
Daria.
Dude, Comfort Eagle is my thing. Anyway, beyond that was one person answered me and he said, I would go back for the map, I would pick it up, and then I come back the fuck over here because the map, it's trusted map.
Yeah.
You plain out exemplified that it's trusted map. And
But someone long since left with the cup.
It was
Yeah,
one of those.
that's
Okay,
fucking-
last cake.
So the idea is
Chocolate. No, that's the
what
last
is that
cake
choice you're gonna
reference.
make? And to me, I realized I was like, I have been on the Barker. This whole thing is just keep journeying, and what the fuck say I didn't get fucking killed tomorrow? So truly, to be
stop
honest, I put so much energy and effort in this trip that I would
Journeyman.
care to complete it correctly. Maybe because I'm so attached, and there was no energy. Literally, like that guy said it, the way he explained it, like I didn't get any energy feedback. Like some people just said, like, "Oh, well, that's gonna."
Oh, I get why we're talking about a well of energy that just comes up from nowhere.
and that's
Could
the
be
thing.
the spirit.
No one yet knows how they would feel in that scenario until they're there, and it's like the energy of it is it's weird. It's
That's spirit within us. Maybe that's part
We've
of
got spirit. Yes, we do.
I'll drink some spirit.
so that drain never happens. No,
Yeah.
the
Sounds
only
like a
reason,
euphemism.
the only way that drain will work is if you panic.
Yeah.
So, and just to branch off of that, do you think that spirit is you, or do you think that is a separate entity that is also like a
A guardian angle.
symbiotic relationship?
I think.
What
it's-
if the human? What if
A guardian
the human,
angle? I think mine is 90 degrees.
Yeah.
I
What,
think
what if the human experience
45.
is symbiotic?
Okay.
It is.
Like
It sure is. I think everything on Earth is a
Well,
symbiotic
yeah,
relationship.
that's going up even
Yeah.
beyond. But within one individual human being, what if mind and brain is a symbiotic thing? It is.
I think mind and brain are the same thing. I think maybe do you mean mind and body?
Well, brain. I mean, okay. Look,
Okay,
My-
so
the
The
analytical.
brain is a physical thing.
yeah.
But that's body. Brain would stand for body.
Mind
That's
is
why I
in-
think why brain
Yeah,
stands
But here's
for body.
the thing: we've already live in a physical world. The universe that we are realizing that others have.
Yeah.
It's the whole entire world being created at that level, but it's not only in that level; it's in that energy.
Well, the so-called, the quote-unquote non-physical
like
could still be
dualism.
made up of particles.
I think where it comes to
it's-
dualism, I
there's
think
energy
I
that's
think
being
the
put into
mind
it.
is a part of the brain. Just like
A byproduct?
like the medulla. No, it's just a part of the brain. It's the I guess a byproduct, a combination of
Just like consciousness, a lot of people believe
yeah.
that consciousness might just be.
I think
a byproduct
consciousness
of
is the
brain.
mind.
I think it's the right antenna. It's a possible doorway to like another place. Well, that's why those
I still
psychic.
hold out
Again,
for the
I mean, if you go
possibility
back to solipsism,
yeah,
no, I mean it's your brain, your mind, and your consciousness are developing your reality based off of observation and understanding. That's me. I mean, and I could be so totally wrong.
It's a practice.
I believe that's a
but
possibility,
the
and
idea
also
of
the
it.
possibility
But that's
that
but
the
that's-
human body could
that's
be an
exactly-
antenna receiving.
The idea
consciousness.
is that there is a connection. There is a particular specific connection that interrelates a world of what you have witnessed and experienced versus non-existing or a whole different world that like you can't put a shape to it. You can't touch it, but it's still nonetheless
Can't
there.
touch this.
No.
Dude, I used to fucking love that fucking song when I was a kid. But
Just a very freaking girl. Wait, that's the original.
it has some sort of antenna, but the thing about it, it's a little more. It almost has a realistic outcome to it, just because it triggers a set of events almost. It recreates a section because the antenna part of it is that like there's some people they say that can easily be hypnotized, or some people that cannot be easily hypnotized.
Yeah.
And they easily once like fucking stupid movie Hello Man, like what if that fucking burst that one little nerve on there and all of a sudden made you like susceptible to like not Hello Man, fucking another Kevin Spacey movie, but not Kevin Spacey, damn it, Kevin Bacon. Yeah, the scare
Trimmers?
No, the one, not the stupid one. The other one. That one was cooler, by the way. It
Footloose.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
It was cool, but it was.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
But he had the dead girl like showing him, trying to show him when
Ghost.
he gets triggered by that psychological thing. Well, anyway.
Oh, Stir of Echoes?
Yes.
Oh, yes,
that's
I
a
love
good
that movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the idea is
I
that the
didn't
guy
think of that.
somehow had he had that little part where he was willing and open and acceptable, but because he had that little like
It kicked the door wide open
kicked
once
the
you
door
that, that
wide
whole
the fuck
movie
open.
theater thing.
and
Yeah.
this,
Yes.
the idea is that like, are we capable of kicking that door open? Like so, like in
Maybe.
relation-
Why not?
Yeah.
But
And,
again,
Okay, I liken it to this, and this is going to be silly. Some people don't know how to flare their nostrils, right? You know,
yeah, it's like some people don't know how to whistle.
right? But
it's like
one-
some people don't know how to stroke their erect cock prop.
But how do you right? But how do you teach a person to flare their nostrils?
You
You
don't.
don't. But once they can do it, it's like they could do it all the time. What if
Yeah.
it's the same thing?
Yeah.
What if we're just discovering something? Yeah, of a
It's
funny
something we
feeling.
all have could do.
The potential is there.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
maybe like what I'm believing is technically just another natural phenomenon that's not supernatural.
That's
call
how
it
that's how I look
supernatural.
at it. All of it. I don't think anything is supernatural.
It's
I think
only
everything
supernatural
is
until
natural.
we understand
No.
it.
Exactly. Well,
No,
yeah,
it's
just like
still
special
natural.
effects,
It's
there's
just we
special
don't
To
understand.
us, relative to us, we call it supernatural.
I still
until
call
we-
it natural.
Yeah.
Well, the
I
reason
mean,
why-
we use the
Yeah,
term
yeah, yeah,
supernatural
yeah.
to
Yeah, just like
convey
special
what we're
effects.
talking
Exactly,
about. But I think it's all a natural
Yeah.
occurrence. I think that
None of it's unnatural.
no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we
And to
call it
say-
supernatural until we can figure it out.
Yeah, technically, like if you watch a bunch of Michael Bay movies in a fucking row, you'll probably realize that like, hey, I am no longer feeling these effects are special, so it's just fucking effects now.
Yeah, yeah.
You get too much shit, you're just like, okay. So
I've
this is
seen so
effects.
many Bayformer movies that
But the idea-
I'm happy Bumblebee has no attachment to Michael
The
Bay.
idea is there's this one has no it has a one sacred thing that like really fucks with you, and there's a point of no return. It's the one thing we cannot explain because we cannot return from that, and it's so definitive in that manner.
Death.
Anal sex.
That's,
death.
That's actually death. That's a pretty good one, but close to death. But anyway.
It was dark, dank, moist.
We're doing word association.
We're going there.
Ponies.
So
Wait.
let's.
yeah.
I wonder if is this one of those life's funny hoaxes that like. It's like, yeah, dude. He's like, you're gonna continue living. It's like, no, you're gonna live all the way out. Like, there's gonna be millions and there's infinite space, shit like that, dude. Or is
you're
it just
farting the wind.
Did we relate so much to our nature that we became a part of it? Where it's like, fuck, dude, I'm part of this energy, but it's like this guy looks like he's too much part of the energy, and you just died, and damn, this place is gonna be haunted for a while.
Right.
You know, like.
I mean, the only way that I really look at it is I'm at my breaking point.
I knew you were. And we're back. So-
We've lubed and regrouped.
Yes.
I've
got agua.
Yeah.
I got the agua.
Agua.
down that.
So we were talking about something off mic about ghosts. Like, what
I mean, and
if-
he appreciated it.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, we've been on mic all day. And
Poor Mike.
yeah. Sticky
He's
and
on my
sweaty.
face.
Where you said,
Michael Caine.
It's meant
What about your butt cheeks? You
drained
shouldn't have
as
said that
well,
to me.
You know, it just taking that level on us. But we're coming back to the story where can we list the things that makes us believe in ghosts? Whether you're a skeptic or a believer by nature, or whether you're both being open-minded individual.
yeah.
Or if you like Philo sandwiches. Skeptic,
Yeah.
believer, Philo sandwich. That's another episode that you were on. So we were talking about something off mic about this with residual hauntings, and we had talked about earlier we were talking about a previous episode. We were talking about the potential for ghosts being some other interdimensional being,
Right.
And what if their means of not just in higher dimensions, seeing all of time at once and being able to figure or getting in your mind and all that, but what if there are legit residual hauntings, energies left over by the living, and these beings latch onto that and can get all the information they need from these residual hauntings,
to get the
and then they act like your loved ones that passed on.
To receive to have that kind of power.
Yes.
You have to have some kind of a state of consciousness.
Yes. That's going with consciousness is something that's apart from the body. Yeah, that's the only way this would all hold up.
The interesting part about that, though, that's where in my own philosophy, and I try to include in this that same book I was fucking talking about later on with you guys, it's that what are those beings that are born outside in a different dimension?
Yeah.
Are they angels? Are they demons? Are they?
I think for them, they're normal.
Yeah.
Then they are. But
and we could call them that.
Something.
But what would they call? What would they call us?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we
Would
have
they call
something
us
they
aliens?
don't.
Would they call us ghosts?
Are they overlapping in such a way that their dimension is here and they are non-physical, or are they physical in a whole other dimension and they perceive us the way we perceive them?
I think that's the way. If it were to be that, it would be that way.
Yeah.
Negative practice that I've noticed in like a lot of studies I did myself, because just being a nerd about it, not because of anything else, but I noticed a belief of something like that practices evil intentions. That's maybe of just born of another dimension. It could be something equivalent to a jinn.
Yeah.
we
We're doing an episode on
this
jinn eventually.
earlier.
Yeah.
We actually as human beings we labeled them earlier as jinn.
It was Jenna. And did Jenna tell you?
Yeah, they sure did. But that's the thing. They were supposed to be individuals that were born in a different place. The only thing that I can see that we hold beyond their belief, if there was that belief existing true, we would hold sole possession of existence. We for sure have a form, a shape, our skin, our blood, our bones
color and a
make.
shape.
Yeah. We can walk. We can make a choice. We can make an object flown across the room, not by our minds, but
I can
by
make
our physical fucking throw, dude.
Yes.
And that's the thing about it. We're like, we can physically manifest shit in front of ourselves. The thing about it is, if they were conscious, would they be jealous? And I use the word jealous.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think
I don't think they're all incapable of moving physical matter, because in my case, some of the experiences I had were things being moved.
And that's the thing. That's where I never had that experience. If there was something that like moved, at least poltergeist was actually described to my friends before, where it's like he's like, dude, my fucking house got locked, and it's you can only lock it from the inside. I'm inside, and I was there watching that fucking lock close on me, and then everything else. And so like,
I wanna lock you like an animal.
but
I want to
poltergeist.
lock you from the inside.
But notice how the poltergeist is one definition of a spirit of a existing energy in that particular place.
Well, some people go as far as to believe that a human being, through like means of like psychokinesis, is creating the poltergeist activity.
Yes.
That they have some kind of ability and they're making things happen.
Studies were done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And in that, it's almost like the person it's a combination of a tulpa.
Cabana?
A tulpa cabana meets psychokinesis.
Yeah.
And that's where there's
I'm Kinesis, and I'm a sociopath.
I'm sorry.
and that's why there's a thin line between being a telekinesis, because telekinesis technically, and the ones that were described or at least tested to be close to it, to be true in scientific terms.
That's another episode we can do is telekinetics.
But what they did, they can only observe.
Uri Geller. Urination.
Imagine the level of energy
This
you
isn't
have
a
to
spitball.
put out to actually place a physical action into place. Where it's like where most of those individuals that do the telekinesis, they can only observe. And the experiments that were done were during like fucking Cold War era between our people. Like it's just fucking stupid. But it was.
It's funny you had that going on there. And meanwhile, in the States, on the stateside, they had a lot of tests with remote viewing.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and that's what it is. That's what it is. It's telekinetics, but it's used.
But my point bringing that up is there are governments that actually took serious interest in this.
Yeah.
Whether they still are or not, there was at least at one time where superpowers were looking at the Sirius for using it in military application or in
Exactly.
other areas, and they believed in the potential for this.
It was
stuff.
just the only reason why it didn't go through. It's because it was non-reliable. You can't get a consistent person that's like, oh, every 1 out of 5
Yes.
is telekinetic.
Yeah.
No, you can't just get that.
and
It's
a lot of them are
fucking-
just Yuri Gellers, and they're just bullshitting you.
Yeah, and then it's like you're either tempting somebody to like go in and like try out for your telekinetic project when they just believers of themselves and nothing else and just straight up narcissistic dipshits. Yeah.
As soon as you put that glass dome over the object they're supposed to move, they can't move it. Sometimes they can. But who knows? I don't know. I am not there to be able to tell if it's a hoax or not.
And-
when you see these videos where people do it.
And that's what's the scary part. Like children. The thing that makes it difficult is that if the children were to discover such thing, they are the least emotionally trained to like withstand or maybe kept that shit at a levy. But but if they were to act and respond, technically, they would be weeded out of the society so much faster than you know it. Because it's like this person can just fucking throw a chair. And they cannot lift one. And it happened in the moment when they were fucking yelling.
They're most likely not going public, and if there was any public display of their ability, it was quickly hushed up, and people were, made out to look like idiots or liars for saying that they saw this happen. And I'm sure
Exactly.
governments would utilize that.
And that's the problem though. Those if it does, and because I'm not a direct witness.
Yeah.
How fast do you think that would be shut the fuck down?
Oh yeah.
18 years.
Dude.
I don't know. I'm just
Some of them like you could be.
That's kind of minor.
But it's
You're a minor.
It's a fucking thing though.
It's an
like,
adult.
Yes.
And that's the thing is that those minors,
18
they
years.
can be misinterpreted easily, and some
of those minors can get trapped in a well for like months.
Yes.
and they came out. Our bodies are capable of a lot of shit, and I've actually like
And society embraced them.
Yeah.
That's the funny part, and that's the energies that like if a
Society
person
touched
can
them
almost-
inappropriately.
If a person is, in
What did
those
you do with those minors?
Think about it as think about
It's Michael Caine.
think about.
He asked me to sit on his face.
Sorry, dude. Okay, go ahead.
We're technically tapping into like our psychological.
Oh yeah, we are.
We're tapping that ass.
Trauma. Well, that's I don't know. That's not trauma. That sounds awesome.
That's rape.
That's
in some
that's a
cases-
trauma. That's a trauma now.
Yes, yeah,
You took it to
yeah,
the
that's a trauma.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so that being
Well,
a
like that
trauma-
movie Entity, where that woman is raped by that ghost repeatedly in her
Yeah.
haunted house.
They actually there was some kind of a fucking feel, but it was probably because they created that energy as they were making the movie, and they were saying like, hey, if
Oh
you
no,
watch
that was what the movie was about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she I don't know.
It's I think,
Oh shit!
but,
Twitter's
it's-
just going off the frets.
Yeah.
but if you put all those
Tweet at
energies,
us at Learning to Curse.
if you
Tweet
feel
us right
that feel that same fucking way as your buddy next to you, and then think what's gonna happen is gonna.
What he
actually-
said is feel your buddy's raging hard on.
Okay, well that feeling
check.
that feeling is
Buddy check.
physical, and I hope and I pray it's fucking mutual.
Yes.
But going from here,
Or it's rape.
Right?
unexpected.
A rapier.
God.
Rapier and rapier.
How about the sounds though? The only thing
Yes,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
You can sword fight, but don't cross the streams.
can our energy be like in that part be defined through the sounds? Because even if we have like experience through the EMD, what do you call it? EMP?
Oh, EMP?
EMP.
Well, are you talking about electromagnetic pulse, or are you talking about electronic voice phenomenon? 'Cause we got
actually,
EVP
voice
too.
phenomenon.
Yes, yeah, for sound, yes.
Evaporate.
I've recorded EVP.
And the pulse, that's the trip though. That's what makes it a very fine line, because a pulse can be that, but EVP, we are so fucking advanced. The only EVP I would believe today, if we went back in 1935 and made the first one, because there's no other fucking transmissions out there.
But
This is
EVP
true.
also stands
That's-
for every voluptuous person.
Yes. But no, because I brought this up on
That's a false statement of EVP. Yeah, so every voluptuous person.
I brought this up on previous episodes because I've recorded EVPs before, but I'm not quick to jump to it was a spirit, because
Right.
it's very possible that somehow the
I was
recorder is
fucking with
picking
you.
up radio.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somehow. Very possible. It's when you get a Class A EVP or like some kind of response, a very clear response to a question.
Yep.
And even then, okay? Then we got to worry about confirmation bias and things like that with EVP too. It's got to be a control test. I always say with EVP, you got to be in a shielded room, so you're not getting any radio signals.
Yep.
But then. Here's the problem too. Is this a haunted location?
Yeah, who the fuck died in that shared room without any...
If you shield that room, is that going to block that entity from talking? And then, yeah, so...
And then the abandoned house can create a fucking negative energy to like, technically...
It's an M titty. It's a W titty.
An N titty.
Yeah, so it's like it totally would like create that fucking environment for you. That energy will be manifested just based on like how you walk in there. It's like, dude, someone looks like they fucking died in here, and somebody probably shit themselves and they died outside.
But could that be like a manifestation that you're building into your own, like I said, your solipsism reality, where you realize that there is this tragic event that's happened here, and you take it upon yourself to manifest that ghost into your reality.
Well, look at fucking place where it looks like someone died. Yeah, of course,
Angel and Nikki when they were on the show.
Yeah,
Angel's situation, her experience.
Yeah.
And other people who experience spirits in that house, right?
Yeah.
Nikki didn't experience.
Hi, Nikki.
She never experiences that stuff.
Yeah. Because didn't we get to the point that she would pass out?
That's true. So she was just missing all the experiences.
Yeah, maybe she was just missing them.
Exactly.
But I don't know.
Okay, I first want to make sure there's some wood around here and it's nobody's dick, but truly to be honest, I'm about to share this one experience.
Some wood, but not dick.
It's a trip of experience. I have felt like there is somebody watching over my shoulder because of this one thing.
Somebody's watching me.
I have fucking woken up in negative freezing temperatures. I have fallen on a rock with my head literally tilted beyond 45. Yeah. And it was in front of a fucking person right now who's a lawyer. And then this buddy of mine can like fucking prove because it was on a Red Rocks. Fucking walked, tripped, and landed like flat.
That explains some things.
I didn't break my fucking neck.
Yeah.
So that was the thing. Let me just knock this shit right now. I do still believe in superstition. I'd rather practice it in a better way. If I'm part of these energies, I might as well like fucking.
That was a good knock. It came across all the mics.
It needs to be. I try to practice the energy.
It was Jesus.
Whether it's real or not.
He was a carpenter.
If you part with it, you will be able to at least maintain it instead of letting it affect you or. Like the sound, and it's eventually something hit it to make that sound. So I don't want to be hit by
punched it in the
but
tits.
Truly,
everything comes down to vibrations.
Vibrations is a big deal.
So what Adam's saying is to get more vibrators.
That was the thing. How the fuck would unexpectedly something will just keep preventing shit like that happening? And it's like it was such a correlation that I really made it easy. But a point like that, it's like you look at it, you look back, you're like, dude, that's pretty unreal. Because like most of the shit you hear, but then yet again you hear and you still relate. The only thing is that there was no absolute intent to look into supernatural, other than after a while you start looking at it. How the fuck is this so?
Well, it's like when people hear story back before, like during like. When people were cataloging species and things like that, they hear a story about a particular species
that going in the book.
They wanted to study it to get more information about it. So before they knew anything about it, it was like Schrodinger's species. It existed and also did not exist simultaneously at the same time. Just going off of people's word of mouth and anecdotal evidence, until there's actual real tangible evidence for it, I'm going to say that
it is encrypted
or spirits or whatever do and do not exist. Because I've had experiences too, but I can't study or explain it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We can't put a title to it.
Yeah.
Other than ghost as a layman term for sake of conversation, like a shorthand for conversation.
But you guys know the famous picture of Amityville Horror, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The little girl sticking out around the corner. That was actually a controlled environment. That was purely controlled environment outside the fact that was a fucking 70s, but they literally went out there. And I don't think that Lorraine Warren and all those, they were There's something that
The Warrens came at the tail end of that one too.
They came on the tail end
Yes.
of who?
But it's a trip.
Yeah.
It's one of the things is like I don't want to discredit them, but I don't want to say give them full fucking credit for it because
Yeah.
there's something else. But
They also came in at the tail end of the Enfield
that was
haunting too.
That was the first like that's one of the first studies that's in controlled environment actually showed a realistic fucking proof.
But you're gonna have people that won't
Like
believe because
physical
they
belief.
can't repeat it.
But it was
unfortunately,
a clean picture
Yes.
of a child reflecting on the light from the fucking camera looking off the corner.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And
it
that
was
could, but I mean, that could be just a reflection, and it somehow just appears the way that you're seeing it in the image.
Dude, the only children in
But-
that fucking picture, like that girl probably didn't even look like one of the children's from original family. That
I
was
have to.
killed.
I would have to actually look at the
For sure.
picture. But what if it's an optical illusion?
That's what I'm saying.
It could
It's a
be,
pretty fucking
if
detailed.
it's very
optical
clear.
illusion. Let's
Yeah, let's bring it up because there's matrixing
yes.
where people see things, but it's just shapes. It's
Yeah.
you know.
It's like picking out the face in the clouds.
Yes,
Yeah, dude, that's the only thing.
there's
is that,
audio and visual matrixing.
Those are
But let's
being
check it out
really
though.
done nowadays.
But let's look at the picture though.
Okay, I'm googling right now, but it's truly those other ones, the optical illusion ones. They started debunking a lot of shit because they like their frames being fucking slow. Sorry, my. Oh yeah, I got one bar in this area, and I'm not connected to your Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Could you check it out on yours?
Yes.
Amityville horror picture of a girl.
Jagan, why didn't you tell us about this?
Yeah, Jagan.
Jagan's gonna do the
Like your mother.
Amityville. He's gonna do the Amityville episode with us soon.
Yeah.
gonna be
I have to
fun.
tell you
Will be fun.
something later
Just because, yeah.
about Jagan. It was hilarious. It made me laugh while I was at work.
He's a funny guy.
He is a funny guy.
Jacob who?
No, Jagan.
Megan.
He's been on the show before.
Jagan's ladder.
Yeah.
Interesting. Jacob's ladder. That sounds very threatening, dude. Because if you've ever been to Jacob's ladder, dude, like you fucking hate yourself after you make it up that hill, dude. It's a fucking Grand Canyon final step, dude, to like nearly shit your pants. Oh, by the way, Grand Canyon is a wonderful place with very energetic and great positive vibes.
Okay, let's take a look here.
Even if you're a dumb tourist.
Oh, is it the one where she's on the stairs? In front of the stairs?
Let me see. It's like looks like she's.
Oh, this
peeking
is from
around.
the movie, yeah.
No, it's in like it's almost in green, like almost like.
Oh, I
that
see the one
night
from the
vision.
stairs. That's weird.
But there's the one
That's
that,
from the
like-
movie, though.
Yeah.
No, there's one where like there's a green. It's almost it looks
real.
green, but it's a reflection. Like it's technically it's taken in the dark, but you could see clear image. Then that story was an interesting one to hear from the perspective because like it was there was an actual. If you guys ever look it up on Netflix, if it's still on there, there's a story behind the kid that was part.
I don't know
of
what you guys are fighting, but I found this.
Nice.
Nice.
I found this.
Nice. Okay, I think that's
Is
it.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the fucking picture.
Yeah.
That's the fucking picture that was taken at that time, and it's a pretty detailed. It's hard to say like what it reflects, but that fucking just gave me like fucking goosebumps, man. It is. It's
So let's take a look at that again. Let's analyze this picture.
if anyone can
Look
ever
this up
at
online, guys. Everybody listening at home.
This is
Yeah.
like the
Tell us
first.
what you guys think.
Yeah, it's the first picture to actually been taken during a controlled environment where they tried to record and preserve this particular moment when they did those. Everything failed. The whole system like started like going out here and there, and everyone blamed it on shit. But this is the first thing that was taken as a picture that can actually outstand other phenomenon, and it's
Phenomenon.
Ba-da-dum. Did you post it on Facebook?
Ba-da-ba. No, not yet. I'll find a better one than that one, but that looks like it's an unaltered
Yeah.
picture.
yeah. The
Creepy as fuck is what it is.
Yes.
Damn.
We'll post that on Facebook. And we'll
Damn dirty apes.
Yeah.
see what people think.
So the
Yeah.
only thing
That's
is,
pretty good.
But you can't tell which child this is.
You can't
So who
tell.
knows? Maybe they created this energy that it fucking could be interdimensional, like fucking spot. Or
Yeah.
if it was a fucking hoax, whoever did the fucking creative, what do you call it, illusion? Like the movie fucking Illusionist, if you guys seen it. The guy fucking straight up played the society, dude, of like controlling life after death.
Yeah.
But all he did is just found a way to fucking imitate his own energy. So maybe if we are imitating energy, that could be a good theory. Or simply we can either be hoaxing it, or whatever that is, I hope if it walks the earth, it found...
It does not come to your house.
Exactly. And I hope it found peace, or whatever the fuck it is, where it's not can't get here if that's what it wants, but whatever. No, that sounds creepy. Like, it's almost like I'm welcoming some shit. No.
Yeah. Wait, the opposite.
Yeah, backpedal. No, but the idea is that, like, are we more lost when we go out to the next place? Or are we also, like, are we angry, vengeful, or is it just like one of those fucking entities that born in another dimension that fucking comes back and bites us in the ass? Or are we just all fucking psychologically fucked?
Stop asking people to sit on your face, and then you won't bite them in the ass.
Or is it all just tinkering around with the left temporoparietal junction?
Yeah. At the junction.
At the junction.
The petticoat junction.
See, that means that we hang out in those places, and that's why we see those ghosts.
And that's why when we're alone by ourselves, whenever I'm alone with
We
you,
whisper to each other.
it makes me feel like I am home again. And whenever I'm alone with you,
you
it
guys
makes
know
me
what a
feel like I
stranger
should
is?
come again.
Do you know what a stranger is?
Yeah. Yeah. We've had those discussions.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I mean, so I don't know that ghosts exist per se. I don't think that it's a
noble
I think
thing
that
at
there
the
are
time.
things, and I sound like a broken record because I keep saying the same thing over and over again. But I think that there are things out there. I wouldn't consider it like there are energies out there, because obviously that's true. We're all energy.
Yeah.
But I think that there's I've experienced things. I've seen things. What that is, I don't know. I think that, I don't think I'll ever know.
But it matched you. It matched you. Whatever it did.
At Match.com.
Yeah.
Well,
Found your profile on JDate.
well,
Yeah, it did.
It took something.
Was it Chunky Lover 53 or something?
It matched
Chunky
your
Jesus
energy
Lover.
level
Yeah.
for you to, like, no longer.
Oh my God, Chunky Jesus Lover on J-Date would be fucking hilarious.
Nice. That's actually that's fucking funny.
Buddha plus Jesus Lover on JDate.
Yeah.
J-Date.
But yeah.
Anyway, but it
It's
did.
like, what does JJ stand for? Oh, that stands for Jews for Jesus.
That can also stand for Jesus Juice.
Yeah.
I should have worn my "You All Need Jesus" shirt.
Yeah.
I literally have that thing. I saw that. I bought it for my brother and his wife, my sister-in-law, and I was like, yeah, you guys need some fucking mental help. Like, let's start there if you're a believer.
Yeah, I need Jesus.
Jeremy was here earlier wearing his RuPaul shirt, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I actually got complimented so many times on that day.
You'll rue the Paul.
Rue the Paul. What you want to do is stir up a nice roux.
Yeah.
and then just feed him to it.
I'm appalled. But yeah, so there's really no consensus here, because I don't think any of us can really say definitely one way or the other if ghosts are what people think they are, which is disembodied entities. But I think there's enough evidence out there to support that there's something. People are experiencing something.
Whether it's our way to relate to the nature or the cosmos around us, or it's maybe our stress being reflected in the nature itself, or just simply there is something. Fuck, like,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe another fucking walkway or path going to the end. We live in a cyclical nature. Why would our end now be end in general? And it could be just a start to something new.
Beings from Christmas past haunting areas.
Those are actually pretty realistic in a way. And it's because we reflect, you see. And then one of the things, we reflect our culture upon our culture by straight up saying, I'm a fuck up. Now what the hell am I gonna do? So maybe is it a lesson to us, or a way to scare yourself to shits?
Right. I mean, and that was fun too when I was a kid, like believing in it wholeheartedly
Oh, I love it.
and,
Yeah,
and,
I would-
and
And
scaring the
experiencing
shit out of myself by, or allowing the experiences to scare the shit out of me. Or I could have been super logical about it and be like, nah, I see something, but it's not freaking me out because I know it's
There's
not
no
real.
way that this
That's
is
why I
what
love
I'm
horror
thinking it
movies,
is.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't watch slasher movies. I watch horror movies because of that shit.
Yeah.
It's something you don't know that might be there.
Yeah. I like thriller and suspense more than I like horror.
I like Michael
I
Jackson's
like-
thriller.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a horror to me. I nearly shit my pants when I was a kid. But to be honest, like, that was a
Stop
horror
eating your
because
pants.
It's a little too late now, but anyway.
You had to eat the pants so that he can have
So
the
he can
pants
shit
off
them.
to shit them.
Well, you'd have to shit the pants somehow. If you shit the pants, you gotta eat
You
the
gotta eat
pants.
them. But if you
and
eat
turn
them,
into
you
shit.
don't have them on, so you can shit them.
Right.
All right. Whenever we
stringy.
decide to come
There's a lot
back
of
from
fiber.
Britain and 1970s, we can start going into the... I'm just kidding.
We can get to the end of this episode.
I got your guys.
How can you have your pudding if you don't eat your meat?
If you don't
How can you have your pudding if you don't beat your meat?
How do you squirt your pudding if you don't beat your meat?
All in all,
You
it's
can't
just
squirt your pudding if you don't beat your meat.
All in all, it's just another dick without balls.
Castration.
Oh, I love Fuchsia Floyd.
Yeah, that's a Floyd. All right, that's a Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah.
It's all
Coral Floyd.
All Pink Floyd. It's all Pink Floyd music, but with
Yes.
Freudian slips
Freudian
inserted.
slips, yes.
All the lyrics.
So now who
Freudian vinyl slips. Yes.
Instead of money, it's father.
I think like
It's a gas. He came into my room and took a piece of my ass.
damn.
Boom, 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 boom. I love it. 7-8 time signature.
Yeah.
Anyways, musicians, words, things, terminology.
Can we precondition ourselves to this
Pink
shit? or do we,
Freudian
like-
slip.
Yes, that is a good point. I'm back on track. Preconditioning ourselves because okay, you've experienced a lot. I'm not saying that you didn't experience anything, but
Right.
at the time that you experienced ghost activity, what is the chicken or the egg again?
Yeah.
You believed in ghosts.
Yeah.
So did that?
I think it
bring
influenced
on?
it, yeah.
And
Because I really haven't
the
had any
actual-
experiences since, but I also
But also the
equate it to-
experiences probably made you believe in it.
But it's so
Supported it.
Yeah.
extreme that you've never felt it like that. That's the only thing. It's like it's your first extreme of a feeling.
Yeah, it was a and like Sean always says is that memory is tied with emotion.
Yes.
So if you have a strong emotion about something, you're going to remember it better
Yeah.
than if there is no strong emotion tied to it. And fear is a strong emotion. Excitement is a strong emotion.
And here's a funny thing, my professor, like, this is the only fucking psych class I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah.
An actual community college. And it's funny as shit. She told us a story how she got lost as a kid. And she told us fucking very creatively, but she told it and I was like, okay, that story sounds bullshit, but the way she explained, she's like, yeah, I believe that shit until I was like 20 something where I could actually tell what the station looked like when I got lost and all this. Her parents decided to tell her that was made up.
Oh shit.
And this is a psych professor like telling us. She said something. I respect the psych professor because her last wish for the class was to play a better reality in others' eyes. And like that's when everyone was fucking talking. No one heard her, but like it was the greatest lesson I could hear.
Wow.
Like even for fucking years on later, I like appreciate that lesson. But even though I didn't learn like much shit, other than of course how we build our judgmental systems and how we balance ourselves and create the equilibrium in their own ways in development. That plays in a big factor is are we preconditioning ourselves, to like believe it? And the more we replay it, the more it becomes realistic.
Yes.
So it's crazy. We can say that it doesn't exist, but we can also fuck with our own reality and say I'm not here because technically, if I'm not touching this table and I'm barely getting closer and closer and closer and closer, I will never hit it, never hit the zero as long as I keep that fraction fucking going.
Yeah.
But you're fucking touching it. I can feel that fucking table, dude.
Right.
That's the thing.
I feel your table.
So how close are we willing to make it to reality, or if we are? And yet again, we always pray that you guys have like a fucking some kind of sense of awareness that anything is possible. That's it.
Anything.
That's it. Anything is possible. Just be open to
Take that away from our episode. Anything
Yeah.
is possible.
It's
A lot of things are probable.
And then
A lot
that's
of
the
things
thing.
probable.
It's within the realm of possibility.
Yes.
The probability is creating it, and because we've have experiences we all can relate. That's just now we have 8 billion or 7 billion fucking people
Yeah. Nearing 8 billion.
that can share that to you live. But what about all the fucking people previously died? Their experiences are just as valuable, except they had minor influences such as electricity. Less.
Arguably, they might be all experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. Because you know what's the funny part? A friend of mine once, my friend and I, we laughed about the Oswald thing. You know why we laugh about it? Because what if it was some fucking drunk ass alien teenager who fucking took their parents' car and fucking crashed that shit back in the day?
Roswell. I thought you said Oswald thing,
Roswell.
and I'm thinking of the grassy knoll.
Yes.
Maybe
like
that's
some
awesome.
alien was there and shot him instead of.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, imagine if like you were see the story actually can relate because people were idiots.
We've talked about this before. What if it's just teenage aliens dicking around and
partying down, and next thing you know, fucking crash on fucking one planet. You don't need
a spaceship.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, I'm in trouble.
It's like, well,
I'm gonna be grounded.
Can't go and get him. It's like, fuck, our son decided to go play in North Korea. What the fuck?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's possibility. The realm of possibility is realistic.
And that's where they met the
sense.
Kappa, and it got way deep in their booty.
Yep. For that
It's like their shitty korama.
Shirikorama.
So you see, the outcome can be completely different. They might just get that instead.
Exactly.
We should give them a which way outro to this episode. It's like you could choose which.
Choose your.
Okay,
own
look, this is
adventure.
how it works. Yeah. So all three of us can give an outro to the show right now. Chuck's outro.
If I give anything to you from this episode, it's going to be
5, 6.
Don't believe everything based off of what everybody else tells you should believe.
10,
Go off of experiences
11,
and whatever it is that you can
13,
actually prove to yourself first before you try and prove it to others.
16. So 16 seconds.
Yeah.
No, but I can't go back in time and tell them that you were talking for 16 seconds.
Yeah, you can.
Slava's outro.
I say you can believe whatever you want. You can create it. It makes the life a beautiful place, even whether it's hated and whether it's loved. So enjoy it. In fact, enjoy that fucking thrill because it's exact same feeling when you drop your ass the fuck down several thousand feet in a damn roller coaster. The only thing about it is that when you go, you'll find that fucking answer regardless. So here it is. And just enjoy what you get and don't feed it to expand. Just enjoy it for yourself. It's a cake for you to have and not to share.
So
Adam's outro.
and last but not least, here's mine. This is what I want to leave you with.